So I was wandering around yesterday on Facebook, and I ran across a link for this particular article by world-renowned wagering man John Stetton, written for Amwager, and it is on the topicality of where is the value. And yeah, I found this on Saturday, January 18th, 2020. And John says here that he always thought the great equalizer between sports betting and horse racing was value, which is absolutely spot on. Since horse racing offers you odds, and the reason that, or how you can be offered tremendous odds is through the ignorance of the other players, and in particular, for myself, I like to say the ignorance of form handicappers for the most part. And that is simply because they have no earthly clue as to the ability of the horses that are going to participate in the race today. So this creates a situation where the value, if anybody wants to know where it is, it's right in front of your face for the most part. Only handicappers have a little trouble with that, since they usually have a form, a worn out format in their face, in front of their face, of times and beaten links and positions and things like that don't really mean a whole lot as far as today's race is concerned. So it makes it difficult for them to find the value. And of course, John goes on here in his article on some generalities, and in particular, I find interesting his generalities that conclusions he's come to about serial win wagers. And like he says here, the pick six is all but extinct. That's some interesting commentary coming from a fellow that is also known as the Pick Six King, the king of the Pick Six. So, but now he's saying it has become all but extinct, and I would venture to say that that's because of so many professional handicappers betting 8 horses, 6, 7, 8 horses in a race, pushing the all button a lot and things like that. And that has generally brought the payoffs down. Although it is a way to win if you've got so much money to do it with. But anyway, what I wanted to do was take a look at this race just yesterday at Gulfstream Park, the 6th race here, 118-2020, where we had this huge winner here, number 10, a huge horse come in second, $34, and a huge payoff for third place, which, that win, second, third, represents a lot of value. I mean, there's a lot of value there. I mean, what are we looking at here? 45 to 1 winner. Hey, there's some value for you. And the $1 exacta, number 10 and number 6, $934. And then, of course, a $2 Quinella, where you don't have to box anything. Doesn't matter what order the 6 and 10 come in. $2, that pays $1,254. And of course, I myself would mention that a single $20 bill bet to win on this number 10 would return $920 in let's see, a 1 mile turf race, probably, minute and a half, a little over that, 2 minutes, let's say. Uh, so anyway, my suggestion is that there's quite a bit of value there to be had. But as far as finding it, that could be a little different, finding it as opposed to having it. And where John Stetton's article back here might suggest that the value is more difficult to find than it used to be, I'd like to point out that as long as, or for as long as we have a situation where a stable, trainer, barn, owner, anything like that, the insiders, the connections, as it's known, of horse racing, for as long as they desire to get their horse into a race where their horse has an advantage, or where their horse might have a sound ability to win the race, yet its past performance form in that format would suggest to the handicapper that it can't win that race, or shouldn't be able to win that race, or whatever, or that they shouldn't bet on this horse. As long as we have the situation where the connections are looking to get their horse entered with its sound ability to win this here race right now, right here today, in a race at high odds or higher odds than its ability would suggest proper, well, we're going to be able to find value because it's there every day, over and over and over again, and it has been there for over 100 years, and it's still there, and it'll be there tomorrow and next week as long as we have that situation where the connections, trainer, those people are looking to win that purse for the race at high odds, like 20 to 1 morning line, 8 to 1 morning line, 15 to 1 morning line, that sort of stuff, that kind of situation. As long as we have a situation where we have, let's go ahead and say 3 horses here in this particular race, number 10, number 7, number 6, whose ability over here would suggest and perhaps signify and clue in a bettor that is aware of the horse's ability. That would be opposed to a form handicapper, but a bettor that is aware of the ability to win the race today might find this very attractive. Just on these ability ratings themselves, and these are the at-home horse player ability X ratings for this particular race. At-homehorseplayer.com ability X ratings, Saturday, January 18th, 2020, and there you go. That's what that is, and of course. Here is where you can get those things too, at this URL here, and these are the Ability X ratings here in various subscriptions. That's the daily, $5 a day, $29.95 for the month, and of course, winning the pick 3, 4, 5. 2019 is available for $39.95. Which is an ebook that goes into serial win wagers, and that comes with a 1 month subscription for the racetrack of your choice, so that you might be able to get used to using Ability X ratings in this manner, finding the value and betting on it. You see, so that's what that's all about. And like we have in this particular race, a 6th race at Gulfstream Park yesterday. Here we have the par for this 8 furlongs on the turf is 100 run. Okay, so here the simple pick is a 100. The number 4 is a 102. The key horse, Ability X Ratings key horse, is a 104, right on the par early speed. That's where number 2 is at 4 to 1. And number 5, the 3 to 1 morning line favorite, he's a 109.82. So, in this entire bunch here, here's these 3. Number 10 being 97.94, which is a little bit higher early speed than the par, but hey, it's a little higher early speed than all these down here too, and it's 4 points higher than number 7, and that is a pretty decent rating for 8 furlongs on the turf. And number 6 over here is almost half of the run rating, which, hey, when we're getting down around half of the run rating, we're looking at getting a little closer to stakes quality. So here we have a situation where perhaps a horse near stakes quality in its ability to run around this track today is entered in this race with a morning line of 15 to 1. Man, that's great. That's some value there. And of course, number 7, the good rating for this distance, 8 to 1 morning line, and of course 997, just a few ticks under that par run for number 10 at 20 to 1. Well, hey, it doesn't take a genius just to, hey, draw the red circle around those 3 horses, and as long as none of the 3 horses are dragging a leg in the post parade, and they're out there warming up actively before the race, you might just say, let me stick these 3 horses in this exacta that pays $934, or let me stick the 3 of them in this quinella, $2 quinella that pays $1,254, or let me just slide a $20 bill. If I got a $20 bill floating around, oh yeah, I got a $20 bill over here. And the number 10 is out there on the track looking sharp. As a matter of fact, looks a little sharper than these 2 over here. Number 7, number 6. So I'll put $20 on that guy to win. Okay. $920 back on that little wager. And of course, if you feel like you need to kill, rest assured, you're killing. So, to get back to the article, where is the value? The value is out there on the track, and it's in front of everybody. It's just that the form handicappers can't see it very well. And, the bottom line is coming out ahead. That is exactly true. And if you can come out way ahead, that's even that much better. And let me see, John Stetton here. He says he went from primarily a pick 6 better to whatever works today. Well, I'll tell you what works today. All the same things work today that worked 100 years ago, and every day in between. What works is when you as the connections of the horse, trainer, owner, stable, whatever, have an ability to get your horse into a race where its ability is unknown, unseen. The handicappers, those farm handicappers that are betting, can't discern the ability of your horse. They can't even be tipped off by a decent rating of ability, such as Ability X ratings, at homehorseplayer.com, Ability X ratings, there you go. They can't even be tipped off by this rating for this number one horse at 15 to 1, the highest morning line in the bunch. They and they're certainly not tipped off by the past performance form record, which is what put this 15 to 1 here. Oh man, that really doesn't look too good. It's kind of negative. So hey, it's the longest morning line odds. So they don't have anything like this 253 rating to tip them off. And if they have some experience with Ability X ratings, they might be able to say, hey, wait a minute, the simple pick, the fastest horse in the race, early speed-wise, is a 244. So, yeah, if number one was capable of that kind of early speed, or just a little more early speed than this 93 here, might be able to just outrun all of these horses from the gate to the wire. Might be able to. I mean, that ability is there. Of course, that might say to anyone that understands that, I want to take a look at number one. I want to look number one over, because I'm thinking about one of those serial win wagers. In this particular case, perhaps you're thinking about the pick 5. So to start it off, I want to take a look at number one, and I want to look number one over real well, because this is the only horse in this pick 5 where I'll be able to do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at number one. I'm going to look at number 6, the one favorite, and number 5, the other favorite, and number 4, the second choice, third choice, whatever. I'm going to look at the whole, and there's only 6 of them to really look at, so I'm going to look them all over. And perhaps if it seems to me that I could make some kind of win bet on this number one, even if it's just $2, because hey, he's 15 to 1 in the morning line, and he pays $65.60 to win this race. So, if anyone could get clued in, at least, hey, take a look at this horse, because here is the one race starting a serial win wager where you can do that. And if you are able to get some information which would motivate you to perhaps bet even $5 to win this race by betting on this horse here, you might say, hey, okay, I'm going to bet number one to win, because he's out there looking sharp in the post-parade. He's out there warming up and everything. He looks like a new piece of furniture, and looks like he has an attitude that says, I want to win a horse race today. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a look at the second race and just put in the lowest Ability X rating, number 3, as the winner of that race. And then I'm going to put in the third race here. I'm going to put in the highest Ability X rating, first time starter, number 5, the highest, over 200. We have 2 over 100, 200, excuse me. I'm going to put in number 5 for my winner, because it's 323, and the highest Ability X rating for a first time starter, number 5. So I'm going to go number 3, number 5, number 1, number 3, number 5, and then I like this rating for this simple pick here, which is the 2 to 1 second choice. Compared to the other horses in the race, I really like that rating, and hey, maybe he'll run well, so I'm going to stick him in there. And that's going to be my 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth single. And then, tell you what, I've noticed this myself. Number 7 here, exactly on the par for this 8 furlong turf race here, 185. Well, in comparison to all the other ratings and the other horses and everything else, since I can't judge them physically before the race goes off, I've got to make a choice now. I'm going to go ahead and number 7. And that's going to be my 5th single for this 50-cent pick 5 that pays $7,393.85 for every 50 cents I wagered on it. And I might decide to wager $1. Might decide to wager $2. Yeah. So we can start multiplying this if I decide to do that. And there it is. It's doable. Anybody can do it. And there is the tremendous value in betting on horse racing that has always been there, is still there, and it'll be there for at least some amount of the future yet to come, as long as we have horse racing going on, and as long as we have people that want to get their horse into a race that it can win today, where form handicappers can't quite see that. As long as we have that situation, for as long as we have that situation. I mean, look here. The highest rated first-time starter pays $21.20. Number 1 pays $65.60 to win the race. The next day at Gulfstream Park, here's a $92 winner for anybody that wants it. And, of course, anybody can find it if they have even a reasonable measure of ability for today's race, such as AtHomeHorsePlayer.com Ability X ratings. The best that there are for rating the ability of the horses for today's race for your better betting decision. And with that, I'll say, hey, see you next time, and hopefully, thank you for joining me for this episode. Hopefully you will join me for the next, and I'll see you then. Thank you very much.